Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, October the 27th, 2022. Thursday, October 27th, 2022. Well, you know what? Today's General Hospital pretty much was all about a love fest at the end, and I'll get to that at the end of this recap. But it started off, and I really like this scene. Joss and Joss and Cameron go to see Spencer in Pittenville. He was shocked that they came, and actually, the happy look on his face to see his friends, I'm telling you, I smiled. And they just, pretty much told him, goodness, they are there for him. They support him, they hate that he's there, but you know they he is he they love him, he's a part of the group, right? So they got a little hand hug there, and Jocelyn grabbed his hand, and Spencer's holding Jocelyn's hand, because it would have looked a little funny if Cam grabbed Spencer's hand too, so he didn't, manly thing. But Jocelyn did, and he brought up Trina, and he says, it's a good thing he did all this for her, and to think she'll never know. Well, they finally came clean, and they let him know that Trina knows. And he goes, what? And so they said, yeah, Trina knows. And so good. That's one secret that's not between them anymore. And they just talked. They kind of reminisced about some of their childhood together, Spencer and Cameron. And it's a funny thing. Cameron says we're cousins. And I'm thinking about the true family tree. Cameron is not related to the Cassadines at all. Cameron calls Laura grandmother because Elizabeth's Jake is she's Jake's grandmother. I'm trying to think of another family connection. And can any of you General Hospital recap fans, because Cameron's father was Xander. Now, I think I'm going to have to look up some history on Xander to see who Xander was related to, because in my recollection, bottom line, Cameron is not related to Courtney either, who's Sonny's sister, who was Spencer's mother. So they actually are not cousins unless there's some link to Xander that I don't know about. So if anybody can find out about Xander and put it in the chat and comment corner, that would be phenomenal. But that was such a great, great scene. Then they had scenes with Britt and Cody, blah, 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 fast forwarded all of that. We have Brooklyn and Chase, blah, 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 on a date, fast forwarded through them. Brooklyn has a text from Dante, pretty much like second request or third request. They need a statement from her, or they would like a supporting statement from her to help Chase get reinstated on the force. And guess who's not doing that? Brooklyn. He needs to leave her. He needs to leave Brooklyn. Seriously, when he finds out that she did not support him getting reinstated, see, and she'll go, no, I'll do anything, Chase. I'll do anything to help you. Oh, no, I can fix it. No, none of that. None of that anymore, Brooklyn. And every time she has an opportunity to do right on her own, Brooklyn cannot. It is absolutely not in her DNA. And that type of woman, that type of girl is not for Chase. Absolutely, positively not for Chase. So we have Nina and Sonny are at that other restaurant, because I don't think they were eating at her Metro Court. There's this other restaurant that people go to have dinner. I think they were there, and Victor came walking in. And Sonny had to go take a phone call because he's trying to get his people, still to look for Lucy. And Victor says something to Nina, and then Nina says, "You know what, Victor? I want to ask you. I want to ask about Charlotte." And he goes, "What about my niece, my grandniece?" "No, no, no, my granddaughter." And she goes, "I sent Charlotte a package, and for the first time, her package came back to me undeliverable. And I've tried to reach Valentine and he's not picking up. Valentine always picks up, even if he is out of the country to me." And he goes, "Why are you so interested in my family? You know, that it is my family and you need to stay out of it." She goes, "No, no, no. Charlotte and I have a relationship. Valentine and I are friends. So, no, I'm not staying out of it." And so, oh, then Victor went for the juggler talking about, "Oh, but you wouldn't know about family because you don't have any of your own." And just, and she was just like, "Oh my god, what?" So she said a few things back, but Victor just was really going in like to slice and dice. And Sonny walked up. He walked back over to Nina, back up, and he goes, "Apologize to her right now." And he looked at Sonny like, "I don't have anything to apologize." He goes, "I heard what you said to her. Apologize to her." And then Sonny kind of looked at him and like, "Are you gonna wish you had?" So Victor looks at Nina. This was the funniest apology I ever heard of everybody. He looked at Nina and he goes, "Withdrawn." Well, that's how we apologize. We say some hurtful things. You know, "You are a scoundrel. You're a horrible parent. Can't stand you. Don't even like your hair color. Yada, yada, yada. You're a pole dancer. You're this, that, and the other." And then when you go to apologize, you look at the person and say, "Withdrawn." Sonny looked at him and Sonny told him, "Let me tell you something. You have better be happy somehow, like that I'm a changed or a kinder person now. You know, just change things up a bit. Otherwise, you would have already been dealt." Because Victor said something about, "Oh, what, you gonna take me around the side and put 2 bullets to the head?" And Sonny looked at him and Sonny said, "I only need one." And Victor looked at him, and that's when he said, "You better be happy that I'm," he didn't say kinder, gentler, but it equated to kinder, gentler. And so Victor said something about, "Well, then," uh, something snarky Victor always says. And then that's when Sonny said, "You'll live to regret it." He goes, if I find out you had anything to do with Lucy's disappearance, you're gonna answer to me." And Victor looked at him and he goes, "I thought this is a new version of you, a kinder, gentler version." And Sonny looked at him and he said, "People slip back," to that effect. That people have momentary lapses, but you keep it up, Victor. And Victor walked away. Sonny is the only person that Victor Cassadine will back down from. Only person that I know of that Victor will back down from. And I'm like, "Go ahead, Sonny, go ahead. Go ahead, Sonny." I mean, all right. And Nina was like the way he did. See, she's okay with him flipping on that mob boss when he needs to, especially if it has to do with protecting her honor. Oh, heck yeah. Mob boss it out, Sonny. Use all your resources to find Lucy, Sonny. But if it had anything to do with Carly's missing, why is he so worried about Carly? you know, but Lucy is not Lucy, Nina. Nina is such a walking contradiction when it comes to whatever life she wants people, whatever line she wants them to walk. for her. So then they finally show Trina and Rory at the comic convention. They get to their room, and it's supposed to be a double bed. So he said he ordered, but gets in there, and guess what? It's a double bed, right? And Trina's looking at it and he's looking at it. And so he's calling the desk, because look, even if he did plan that, you would call and say, hey, can you get me, once you see your guest isn't quite as willing, right? And she said, don't worry about it, it's fine. He wouldn't have called, right? So they were going to bring up a little cot for him. So they're talking, and Trina was just talking about how much she enjoyed it. How, this kind of opened up her eyes to comic conventions and how much of a following that they have. And she was like, I really love the fact that the families were wearing all their little costumes with the kids, families dressed up as the Incredibles and everything else, right? So then they're talking, and they start kissing on the bed as they're sitting down. But I'm going to come back to them, right? Well, now I'll finish it right now since I'm talking about them. So he's like, do you want me to stop? And she's like, no, keep going. So they're kissing and kissing. And he lean back on the bed. And, oh, they're getting into the kiss. And all of a sudden, Trina hears Spencer's voice. And as he leans back, Trina's seeing Spencer and, talking about how much he's wanted this. And she's just looking, and she snaps out of it. And she realizes, oh my goodness. And Rory doesn't know what to think. I mean, here she went laying down with Rory, but waking up with Spencer. So Trina just, like, oh no, we were going too fast. Oh no, no. And so Roy's like, was it too fast? And she's like, yeah, sorry, too fast. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you know exactly where your heart and your mind is. And it is on Spencer Cassadine. 100% on Spencer. But it's interesting how they had to do that, because Spencer was nice, clean shaven Spencer. Yet in Pentonville, Spencer is, look, I haven't shaved in a week, Spencer. So they had to have filmed that scene. Oh, you know what? No, I know how they could have done it. Filmed the Joss and Cam scene first, shaved him up in wardrobe, slicked his hair back in wardrobe, or fixed it up in wardrobe, and then Spencer did that scene, because we may not see Spencer for another week. And then that gives him chance for all that to grow back in. So yeah, but that was nice. I mean, look, we see who she wants to end up with, and we see maybe that's going to be the catalyst for them writing Rory out of the show. Maybe, right? So then we get Joss and Cam, and I'm just going to put all these pictures together. Joss goes back to the house with Cam, because Cam's babysitting the brothers, because Liz is out of town. And remember, she said, I don't want Jocelyn spending the night. And he says, okay, guess who's going to be spending the night? Jocelyn, right? She just better sneak out before, or he better take her out before the boys get up, so they won't ever know. Because they decided, you know what, with the Hook killer being out, it's not good for him to leave his brothers home alone sleeping. And then they shouldn't be walking her to the dorms in the dark. And I'm thinking, didn't Jocelyn or doesn't Jocelyn have 24-hour guard detail from Sunny? What happened to it? It's gone, right? Nowhere to be found. So we have Chase and Brooklyn after their date. They're coming back in whoever's apartment. It's got to be his, because she lives at the Quartermains. Kissing, and she rips off his shirt and has to touch him to see if he was real. So they're getting ready to make out. And then now I like this scene. We showed some senior love. Mac, Scorpio, and Felicia. Now, mind you, Mac is probably the age of Sunny, but I mean, they got his little silver hair, and that senior is one of the most buffest seniors with those muscles that I have ever seen. I'm like, man. And Felicia is, looking at him like he's just a lamb chop. And she's like, and you my husband, woo, yeah, come on. So that was so cute to see. I liked it. I really liked that scene between the two of them. They did a phenomenal job. And then we have Sonny and Nina, and it's like, really, I think this is the first time. Is this the first time we've seen Sonny and Nina in the bed since Carly walked in on them on the Haunted Star? I don't recall seeing them sleeping together since then. So everybody, I don't know what was put in the water in Port Charles, but Trina and Rory weren't in Port Charles. But look, they're the only ones that didn't didn't go all the way. So yeah, what was put in the water in Port Charles? And that pretty much was it for Thursday's edition of General Hospital. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. We have quite a few comments that I'm going to breeze right through. Susan gave a great lengthy comment, and actually so did Hello There. Both of you. Woo! And actually some of your comments I think are bordering on, yeah, tomorrow's, because I'm doing this recap Friday. So some of these comments are bordering on Friday's episode. So I'm going to go down to LaShanta. Everybody go back and read Susan's comments and read Hello There's comments, because it's the same thing. They're talking about what I'm talking about. Everybody is getting it on in Port Charles, and how Chase should ditch Brooklyn. Pretty much Heather Weather showed up at the hospital. Wait, what did it say? She says, I had to laugh when Olivia walked in on see, you know what? That must be on Friday's episode, so I'll leave that one alone. LaShanta says, the Ice Princess is all diamonds. And Victor, and you're right, as soon as you said this, I remembered it. Victor had Valentine set up Jennifer Smith. She went to jail for having the Ice Princess in her safe. You are absolutely right. In Monaco, I think, right? And then she talked about Ava was fighting with Carly at the nurses' ball, and Ava threw Carly's phone in the toilet thinking it would erase the video. And Carly's like, hey, that's on the cloud. Look, that don't mean Ava put Nicholas's video on the cloud, right? And then Sherry says, Holly gathering info at the jail visit. I'm thinking, please stop speaking in front freely, because y'all don't know this woman anymore. That is so true. And then Hello There says, yeah, but didn't anyone hear the jingling sounds coming from her leather buckle when she entered? You know what? Hello There, I'm going to listen to that again. I'm going to go back because I heard the clanking, but I thought it was keys from the guard opening that one part of the cell, letting Harley, the inner area there, letting Holly in where Mac and Robert were. But I'm going to listen to that again. That's going to be interesting. And then this Chemo Beauty says, someone refreshed my memory. Didn't Jennifer Smith have the Ice Princess? Valentine seduced her to steal it from her safe. Maybe it was to steal it from her safe. They could have arrested. I think the police Valentine is the one that called the police on Jennifer, I think. So what was his purpose getting into her safe? Because whatever was in her safe, she says, I didn't put that there. I didn't know that was there. So Victor never would have knowingly give the Ice Princess to the WSB. I don't know. But I do remember she went to jail for what was in her safe that Valentine planted in her safe. What it was. You know what? I just might have to go back and look that up if I have time this weekend, or if somebody could go back and either look at YouTube or General Hospital Fandom to find out what did Valentine place in Jennifer Smith's safe. Lisa says, I went to, here we go. This is on Helena. I went to General Hospital on Fandom, the whole history on Helena Cassadines. A few things Elena did was when Nicholas told Jason that Helena was terminally ill. Jason went to Cassadine Island to ask Helena what happened to her. She told him that Faison was going to kill him, but she decided he would be more useful to her. When Faison pushed him in the water, she had her men get him out and turned him over to Victor. She also implied that he was responsible for Jason losing his memories. Sam was very upset and started disrespecting her. And then Helena put a curse on her. Yeah, I remember that. And then she talks about that was November 20th. It was right after that. Nicholas told everyone she was dead. Well, I went to YouTube to the scene and watched when she died. The scene that they showed, because see, Jason, who was Billy Miller at the time, who really was Drew, was asking her who else knew that he was Jason. Who else knew? Now we have Nicholas and Elizabeth standing right there. And Sam is standing right there. And Helena was toying with them like, yeah, there were some others that knew. But before that particular scene, before they actually came back to that scene, when they all had come in, she had asked Nicholas, because Nicholas was talking to her first. She started coughing and she asked him to go and pour her some tea. So Nicholas goes to the tea, and I think that's when he put the poison in the tea. Helena didn't just die right then. She was going to tell on Nicholas. And so he gave her tea, and as she's talking, because Nicholas would interrupt, saying, oh, she isn't going to ever say anything and blah, 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 just to give the poison some time to get in there. And just as she was allegedly going to tell them who knew, and Elizabeth is standing there just, because Elizabeth will lie to you just like anybody and hold you amnesia hostage like she did Drew, just so that she could marry him herself. That's Elizabeth Weber for you. And then Helena died, and they witnessed it. Jason was there, Sam was there, Nicholas and Elizabeth were all in the room when she allegedly died. Anna Rihanna says, one small note, even a clone doesn't have the same fingerprints. So true. Fingerprints are as unique to each individual as the makeup of your retina. So true. Monique says, I'm glad the way the writers are writing Sam in her new element and starting out as a con and possibly a jewel thief. Since she got with Dante, we don't really see that side of her. We don't. Hopefully working this case, it'll remind us of who Sam really is. And then Richard said, amen. Hello there says, I'm a bit intrigued. She hasn't had a storyline in a long time. The scene with Britt and her yesterday caught me by surprise, which was nice for a change, because so much of the writing is predictable, and I understand some of it has to be, but every story shouldn't be. I know every story should not be alike. And then Deborah said, Nicholas was very dark at the time. His Uncle Victor is on a delusional reign of power. He is insane. He needs the hospital that Kevin is living in. That's supposed to be a prison, really. And that's supposed to be Ryan. But now Cody now knows where the necklace is. Britt may have made a mistake in trusting Cody. Not clear on his agenda, because if he is working for Victor, or maybe it's Alex, she might be plotting it for herself. And then Anna Rihanna says, OMG, you were on top or today because I'm rolling. Nicholas turned the tables on Helena. Oops, yeah, he sure did. I think she was after Emily. No, when Helena finally died, Emily was long dead, but she was after Emily a lot on other different occasions. And then Elizabeth too. Victor can be very annoying. However, he is schooling everyone on how to take out their enemies one by one and keep them out. Yep, take some lessons from Uncle Victor. When Victor moves into the castle, how long before he comes face to face with Esme? Nice idea that Cody is working for Victor. Uh, for once, Nicholas had some good advice for Ava. Yeah, let's see if she'll follow them. Ashton is strange. Who's Ashton? I can't figure out who Ashton is. The relationship, oh, Austin. Austin is strange. The relationship with Maxie is another snoozer. Absolutely, positively. And then Lisa says Helena was just evil. Victor trying to worry Nicholas is not working. Victor needs to get his big nose out of Nicholas's business. I remember when Nicholas told everyone she was dead. That was Helena. And all of a sudden she's dead. She was after Laura and Elizabeth. I don't believe exactly what happened before her death. And then she goes, I think Victor's still working on a weather machine. He's working on some kind of machine, weather machine, time machine, answer machine, whatever kind of machine Victor is working for is not gonna work. All those Cassidines in the world domination machines never work, okay? And then Kevin says, I think Helena was after Emily. She hated her. Yes, she did hate Emily, but at the time of her death, where she was poisoned, that death, because Elena's been dead a couple times on the show. That particular death, Elena was, this is when Billy Miller was playing Jason. Emily was long gone. Okay, Emily was long, long gone. Thank you for the comments on Comment Corners. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see Friday's episode, and I will be back for another daily recap of General Hospital. Please subscribe to this channel.